Welcome back, my fellow radiation nerds! Today we're looking for radioactive minerals and fossils in the Berlin's Natural History Museum. Let's see what we can find. If you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming uploads. Thanks, and now back to the video. One of the very first exhibits that you'll see after entering the museum is a giant fossilized skeleton of Brachiosaurus. It stands at over 14 meters tall, and it comes from Tendaguru Hill in Tanzania. At first I didn't detect any radioactivity coming from it, but when I got a bit closer I did manage to measure a small increase. I'm sure that if I would be able to measure the fossil up close, my meter would definitely start clicking. There are several other fossils of dinosaurs which also come from the same location in this museum, and it wouldn't surprise me if they would also be slightly radioactive. Unfortunately, I couldn't get close enough to get a better reading. So let's quickly go over why are some fossils radioactive. It's actually pretty simple. When bones turn into fossils, they absorb surrounding minerals, and if there are radioactive elements present, fossils can turn radioactive. At home, I do have a megalodon tooth that is radioactive as it contains uranium, and I have covered it in detail in its own dedicated video. So if you're interested in learning more about it, I definitely recommend checking it out. And now, back to the museum. Walking into the next room, I spotted an exhibition about volcanism. In the past, I visited a few volcanoes, in Iceland and in Canary Islands, but I never really had any luck in detecting anything radioactive there. This exhibition had samples of lava from Mount Vesuvius in Italy, and when I brought my meter close to them, I was very positively surprised to see a few extra clicks. Most likely from naturally occurring radioactive elements such as uranium and thorium being present. Probably one of my favorite exhibits in the entire museum is Tristan the T-Rex. He is absolutely breathtaking, measuring an impressive 4 by 12 meters. He was originally discovered in 2010 in the Hell Creek Formation in the state of Montana, USA, which is famous for being one of the most fossil-rich places on Earth. However, the best part is that he's actually pretty radioactive. Even though his skull is behind a glass display, I was still able to easily pick up radiation coming off of him, and I measured about 300 counts per minute on my SC International Ranger and about 1 microsievert an hour with my PRD. Keep in mind that those measurements are from a distance and behind a glass display, so I'm sure that if I could get closer, the readings would be far higher. The last time I was in this museum was about a year ago, and I remember that there was an absolutely fantastic collection of uranium minerals, which included very large and beautiful samples of uranophan, autunite, and torbanite. Now imagine my disappointment when I approached the cabinet where those minerals were located, only to find out that they were replaced by some other non-radioactive ones. After talking to some staff members at the museum, I was told that the minerals were removed because they were producing too much radon gas. Apparently, the radon concentration inside of the cabinets was measured at 3000 becquerels per cubic meter, which is 10 times the limit in Germany. I do, however, wish those minerals could be still displayed, maybe in their own dedicated cabinet with air ventilation. Luckily, a few smaller samples of uranium and thorium minerals are still present, and you can still detect them when passing by, although the levels are pretty low and they are nothing compared to the results I was getting with the bigger minerals. In the year 1789, a German pharmacist and chemist from Berlin called Martin Klaproth discovered uranium while studying uraninite mineral. In the museum, there's an entire cabinet dedicated to him, which also contains one of his original uranium ore samples that he used during his research. Without a doubt, that's one of the coolest pieces of nuclear history. The Natural History Museum in Berlin is definitely one of my favorite museums that I've been to. and even though I've visited many times, it never gets boring. If you'll be in Berlin, then I definitely recommend planning a visit to it. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. I wanna hear from you. Have you been to any museums where you found radioactive minerals or fossils? How active were they? I'm looking forward to your answers in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If yes, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming uploads. Also feel free to check out my Patreon page where you can support the channel financially and get access to exclusive content. And remember, stay active.